It is just a few hours ago that I uploaded a video on BUTERE girls, but things are flying so quickly that I have to record a second, which appears to be part 2. There are so many things are happening, and I still insist that the government had 12 directions, 11 which are correct and one which is wrong, and the government took the one which is wrong and ignored the 11 that was good. For lack of a better explanation, I would just say that it's like the government was choosing the worst route possible, and yet it had up to a dozen reasonable routes to follow. Things are moving very fast, and it is even, you cannot even believe that if you stay around for a few hours again, things just change, and whatever opinion you had a few hours ago becomes stale. Let me join Didmas Barasa in what he is saying, that there was a very easy and simple trap by Cleo Malala for the government, and the government fell for it. Very simple. It is a shame that even the NIS, National Intelligence Service, did not see this very simple trap. It is a very simple trap. And the answer was very simple. The answer was just ignore and pretend nothing has happened. Now, the government is going to an extent that it is performing. I'm trying to imagine a situation where you are crossing a flooded river. We are crossing a flooded river. You reach somewhere where the water it reaches your neck. Now you have not even reached half the river. The best thing to do is that you turn back. You turn back, but what I'm seeing the government through the Ministry of Education is saying that kwani iko nini. It's even going to the deeper and deeper end. And there are those people who go to the deeper and deeper end without knowing. But this is the thing that the government is going to the deeper and deeper end. In the what the Swahili say, kwani iko nini, utadu. And this is a very simple thing that just as I've quoted Didmas Baraza, the government should have just ignored that thing and it would have gone. Now we are hearing that other schools have gone in protest in support of BUTERE. What would happen again and again? I do believe a person like Malala has nothing to speak. But now you are making him a hero out of nothing. I'm an expert in political assassinations. But then if you look at some of the political assassinations in this country, some of them, if the government would have just ignored that politician, the politician was not as big as what the government perceived it to be. But after being high-handed on the person and the person loses his life, the government in the end has lost. So I just want to say again that the choice of the school was deliberate. The choice of the school was deliberate. The choice of the school was deliberate. Somebody just chose the school that the current first lady is an alumni. That is the thing. They chose. I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but you see, when it becomes to intelligence, yeah, I can talk as an expert. Intelligence means that you have to look into so many scenarios. You have to look at so many scenarios. If this thing happens, what can happen this way? If this thing happens, what will happen this way? In so much scenario that you see everything before it happens, so that you advise the government to do that. But it seems that the NIS is playing a catch-up, not even a catch-up. It's like the bus has left you in the stage, and you're trying to run after it, after 2 to 3 meters or something, you discover that the bus has gone and there's no way you can climb it the way Manambas climb it, and then you just wave your hand and leave it to go that way. I think that is what the NIS has done. The choice of the school was deliberate because the current first lady is an alumni of that school. She is known to have a soft spot for her school, even donning the school uniform regularly whenever she visits her. Now you have made it possible, and I can tell you it is quite possible that first of all, she'll avoid going there. And if she goes there, there is even a possibility that you'll find that school now starts shouting, Ruto must go, Ruto must go. Somebody once said, when you are in a hole, the last thing you do is dig a hole. But the government appears to be digging it even more. What will President Kipchirchir do? Typically of him, he will realize that there is a problem. He plays catch up. He will realize that there is a problem in BUTERE girls. Then he will organize to visit BUTERE girls. And visiting BUTERE girls, it will involve a lot of things. It will involve for regional security committees sitting together, discussing that place, organizing that place. It will also include the county security committee doing the same, and the sub-county. There'll be large crowds of people because what Kipchirchir wants is to be seen on TV uh, psyching up psyching up the crowd and whatever. But the question is, let us talk of the Ministry of Interior. I've talked about the regional security committee. I've talked of the county security committee. I've talked of the sub-county committee. That involves money. People will have to come. People will have to come. What do you call? There is a lot of fuel and allowances that will be used and whatever, just to pacify a single school called BUTERE Girls. The total amount that will be done for this very simple misstep will be that equivalent to maybe even building a lab for BUTERE Girls. I blame the government for falling for a simple trick. This is something that was just played a small trick, and they failed the exam. They failed the exam, just like you can see a professor in mathematics being given a question in board mass, and he fails. That is how the government did. They've just failed a very small thing, and what they are doing, it's like either somebody who has found himself in a flooded river. Let's say he has covered 40%. Instead of turning back and crossing the other day, they have decided to just cross. Instead of turning back and crossing another day, they have decided to go into the deeper end. After all, they are saying kwani utadu, and it is also equivalent to somebody who is digging a hole and continue digging. They said that when you are in a hole, the last thing you should do is dig. Someone said that the BUTERE issue was to distract Ruto from the Russian fertilizer. You will see that, or even not only fertilizer, but also his attacks with Muturi and Rigathi Gachagua. I've already recorded saying that it is below the position of those three to talk what do you call to start revealing each other, saying, oh, you did this, you are complaining about a blogger, you are complaining about Farouk, whatever. If it happened, first of all, it is really bad for a deputy president to I've already talked about to complain about very junior people. Moi was even slapped by police inspectors. You cannot compare a police inspector with people like Farouk. So the Rigathi was not even supposed to complain about junior people giving him instructions. Actually, he came out publicly and said that the fact that you're the president's friend, you should not give me orders. Those things have happened. And if you count all the number twos in Kenya's history, I can say that apart from Wamalwa Kijana and Mudi Awori, and maybe Kalonzo Musyoka, everybody has gone through that. And also it is beneath the status of the president to come out publicly and say, you see, this man was complaining about junior people, about the junior people. We have had cases where you visit a very senior person and the watchman refuses to open the gate. It would be very much beneath you to go and tell the person, you see, I came a long time and the watchman did or refused to open the gate. There are some things you just go through, but you don't lower yourself to that. So somebody had said that the BUTERE issue was brought out, was given a high-handed with an intention to over, what do you call, overshadow that thing. But then I would tell you that this is, if that is true, then that is unfortunate, because uh, the issue of, I don't know, kina fertilizer and whatever, maybe let me give a simple example. Maybe it has brought three units of problems. Now you bring in another problem to cover it. That like this one of BUTERE now. Now it even becomes, you see, people do not care about fertilizer very much than mistreat of girls school. Now that one would maybe have 5 points, 5 units. And then something there comes, maybe a smaller thing to distract this one again of 1 unit. If you add 3 plus 5, that is 8, plus 1, that is 9. It means that uh, 9 is 3 squared. You have already squared the problem. Let me tell you, even if the problem is 7 units, and you bring in another problem to overshadow that, it means 7 plus 1. People will not forget the other one, whatever, but they will add on what you have just said. I want to address President Kipchirchir. Kipchirchir, when during the burial of President Kibaki, the then Deputy President Kipchirchir said that Kibaki is the best president ever. I would want to tell President Kipchirchir is that don't preach water and drink wine. Don't preach admiration of Kibaki and you do the opposite. You do the opposite. How many times did Kibaki respond to issues? The only time Kibaki responded to issues were of national interest, and it used to be on issues that are very severe. You could talk whatever you talk, and you'd say, ongeeni tu sijui nini. One of the times when he had to respond was a time when Mama Lucy attacked the cabinet minister for internal security. First lady being Mama Lucy, Kibaki saw it important. Kibaki saw it important to respond personally, because if he would have kept quiet, he would have been seen to be supporting Mama Lucy. And he just said in a very simple one sentence, I have confidence in Professor Saitoti. And the whole story ended that way. So this thing about President Kipchirchir just responding to everything, some of which are very minor, such as, imagine not even a governor. Imagine not even a governor responding that Rigathi Gachagua was quarreling with a blogger. Eh? We all had people abuse Kibaki and he never responded. There are those people who used to say, Kibaki, we wakati ulikuwa kwa wheelbarrow, Raila alikusaidia kukampeni sijui nini nini. Did you hear Kibaki responding? No, he did not respond. President Kipchirchir, urgently replace your advisors from those who tell you what you want to hear to those who tell you what you need to hear. It is said that the BOM of that school has been banned. That is what I meant. That is what I meant by saying you are in a hole and you dig a deeper hole. You are in a hole and you are digging deeper into a hole. Now, to the best of my understanding, how does the BOM, Board of Management, have to do with a school play? Wow. I was my secondary education. I never even knew. I used just to read in the school magazine about the BOG, Board of Governors. I don't remember ever interact or knowing anything about it. But in my A-level school, I knew of the Board of Management. I've even ended up being on a Board of Management of a primary school, Riruta Satellite Primary School. And I would say that if the school made a bad play, I want to say like a communist play during Jomo Kenyatta's time and during Moi's time, how does the Board of Management come in? Actually, what happens in a play, this is the teacher in charge of drama has to look for a script writer. And I'm even being told that the these people who organize the drama festival uh, said that they would not want the play to be played because Malala is not a teacher in that school. Malala is not supposed to have scripted that play, and so since the play was not done by the school, the play should be banned or something, or it should be disregarded. A play is scripted by anybody. When we were in school, Bungoma High, the play we scripted was scripted by, if I remember very well, there was Ivan Swasike, a student, and Colonel retired James Chemiat, they were classmates, my classmates. And also plays can be scripted by even an outsider. So this thing of now saying, oh, why did you involve an outsider to script the book? Oh, you are now, and they were breaking out. I still remember saying that when you are in a hole, the last thing you should do is dig a hole. President Kipchirchir, whatever is happening now is uh, is having the wrong people in the right place. I'm trying to imagine over a slopey place, like Kangosho, Chimoi, and even Kingongo area. Now imagine you're going down the slope, your vehicle is going down the slope, and of all things you do is you press the accelerator. You press the accelerator to go that way. I can tell you that when the vehicle settles down after rolling several times, you'd even be shocked. You don't even know it's from its original shock. But one thing I've noticed with President Kipchirchir is he admires, and that is why I said don't take alcohol. I mean, don't preach water and take alcohol. He admires President Mwai Kibaki, but he does worse than even Moi. That's all for today.